Hey y'all, so if you're wondering, Liz, why are you in an empty room all by yourself? This is my room. I just removed all of the furniture. It's gone. I threw it out. Anyways, room tour. So let me tell you why I'm filming for today. I have decided to take on this challenge of learning Korean Sign Language in 4 days before I go to Korea. Liz, why didn't you prepare more? I procrastinated, okay? But my goal is I want to learn Korean Sign Language before I go to Korea because I want to be able to communicate with the deaf people there. I know I am doing this last minute, like the very last minute before I go to Korea, but I promise you I got this, I think. If you don't know who I am, my name is Liz and I am hard of hearing, but I am culturally deaf in the deaf community, which means I'm a person with hearing loss who communicates and relies on ASL. Liz, there's ASL, there's KSL. How many more sign languages are there? There are over 300 different sign languages all over the world. The reason why there's not just one sign language instead of 300 sign languages is because you can't force people to learn one language all over the world. Like, we are all so different, and I think that's beautiful. So we need to accept that and learn the sign language in your country, but also consider and be open-minded that there are other sign languages and maybe you should learn it. So basically my goals for learning KSL in 4 days, since it's so short, is that I want to be able to introduce myself in KSL, including my name and learning how to spell that. Ooh, that means I have to study the writing system too. And I also want to learn some just basic phrases so I can sign and be able to communicate with people. I keep changing positions. There are 2 skills that are important to practice when you are learning sign language. The first one is receptive skills. What does that mean? It means if you are hearing or deaf, doesn't matter, you have to use your eyes. Since sign language is a very visual language, you have to use your eyes to pick up and understand what the other person is throwing at you. That is called receptive skills. Receptive skills are important to learn, but it is not the same as expressive skills, which means what you sign on your hands, how you produce it. Basically, it's like what you pronounce, but it's on your hands. So for example, there are the 5 parameters in ASL. Understand, I'm not a teacher, so I'm going to be explaining this in a very simple way, the best I can, and it's been a long time since I've learned this. But anyways, the 5 parameters means there's H-O-L-M-E. H means handshake, O means orientation, where you place your palms, L is location, where is the sign being produced, M is the movement, and then E is the expressions on your face. So for example, I'm going to show you 2 different signs, but they look the same. 2 different meanings, 2 different signs. Why is that? Is because of the 5 parameters. This one time with nothing on your mouth means expert, but 2 times with the oo on your mouth means soon. So today is day 1 of my KSL journey. If you want to learn too, I will put down the resources down below. I found a YouTube video where it shows the ASL and KSL side by side, but I will be copy signing this video a few times, and what that means is I'm looking at the signs and I'm copying exactly what I see. So a few things that I've noticed about KSL versus ASL is that I feel like KSL uses a lot more 2-handed signs, which is really interesting because ASL does too. But at the same time, with phones and everything, we kind of stopped using 2-handed signs and just dropped one hand. So for example, because we're always busy. If I were to sign have, horse, what, like, you don't need the 2 hands anymore because phones. I also get when people say, oh, sign language looks like gestures because I feel that right now. I do not understand anything. Everything that's being thrown at me, I'm like, oh, this is gibberish, but it's not gibberish. It's just a different language. Duh. That's what happens when you learn a different language. It feels like gibberish until you finally understand it and you're like, oh. I feel like I'm in this position where I'm looking at the sign language and I'm like, that's just hands in the air, you're miming. I did write down some note, you can't even see it. I did write down some notes related to the signs in KSL so I can remember it more easily. I wrote down the Korean plus the sign and what the hand shape looks like to me. For the sign welcome, it's this in Korean silent. By the way, I'm not teaching KSL, but I wrote down 2 A's down once, and that's what I wrote for the sign to help me remember. Also one that like trips me up all the time. In ASL, this is what, but in KSL, this is what. In ASL, this means where. Every time I see her say this, what, I'm thinking, oh, where? Because she's looking at me and signing this, and I'm like, where? I don't know. I feel like that will trip me up, but this is the same as what in ESL too. It's not a bug. You've had enough? It is now 7 p.m. and right now I'm just reviewing all the signs that I got wrong or that I'm struggling with. And surprisingly, the signs that I think that I would struggle with the most, I'm not struggling with at all. But then the signs I thought that would be easy, I'm struggling with, which is really odd. For some reason, the ones that I thought that would be easy are not easy for me. But the ones that I thought that would be hard, like really hard that don't make sense to me, now make sense. And then no, I keep thinking that no is this, but that is why. That is why. But no is this. Okay, I'm not proud of myself, but it's currently 8 p.m. and I got a coffee. It's like a coconut style coffee. It is so good, but they only offer it during winter, and I feel like the best things are offered during winter, and then in summer you get nothing. Spring too. Spring, I studied for about an hour and a half, but I started to feel really bad. Like, I'm sick right now, right? I feel like every vlog I'm always sick, and I mean, it's true. My immune system is weak. Now I'm going to the gym. I don't know if that makes sense for my sickness, but I feel like it might cure me or just do something. Maybe I just need to sweat it out. Morning. So we've unlocked a new location. Another empty room. This actually used to be my old room before I moved. I have 2 rooms, but this is the guest room, and I would always go back and forth between my room and my guest room. Unfortunately for this morning, I only have 20 minutes to study before I have to cook because we are celebrating Thanksgiving today. When I'm in Korea, I will not be celebrating Thanksgiving. For today, I want to cook some soup for my mom. I'm cooking butternut squash soup. I love butternut squash so much, but a lot of people don't like it, but that's one of my favorite soups ever. A few goals for today: I will be reviewing vocab from yesterday. I'll also be looking at another video with a different signer, which means a different signing style. So this will be the video I will be reviewing, and then these are my study buddies. Also, this is my tripod situation. I don't drink, by the way. I don't have my tripod right now, and I was looking through my closet and I found that I got for my 21st birthday. We didn't really drink the whole thing. I just don't like drinking. It's like a whole nother topic. But it seems like there are 2 signs that you can use, which are completely different signs, but the same context, it means the same thing, but I'm not sure which one is more appropriate. There's this, which means welcome, but it also means nice to meet you, right? But then there's also this, which means nice to meet you. I think it's a culture thing I'm not aware of, because culture does influence language. I need to show you. I'm like finally understanding a little bit of Korean Sign Language. Oh my gosh, it's like, it's coming. It's, look. Obviously, I'm not fluent in Korean Sign Language whatsoever, so please take this with a grain of salt. This is what I'm getting. Hello, my name is, I do not know that name, okay. This is my sign name. It is nice to meet you. I am Korean. And again, I live in Korea. In my family, we are I am the third generational deaf person in my family. And then there was something related to studying. I don't know. Let me see what I got. Okay. LOL, there's captions. Okay, hi, my name is Ji Young. This is my sign name. Okay. Nice to meet you. Okay. I'm Korean and I live in Korea. Okay. I come from a third. Ooh, you see that? I did that. It is finally the end of day 4, and that means tomorrow I'm leaving for South Korea. I feel like I've learned so much about Korean Sign Language the past 4 days, but at the same time there's so much I still need to learn. I do feel like I learned a lot of basic phrases, enough to communicate with people when I get there, and that is a goal. I want to share some of my thoughts about Korean Sign Language. So first of all, I think it is very visual. Like ASL is visual too, but I do think in some aspects that Korean Sign Language is more visual. So for example, in ASL we ask like what is your phone number, but in Korean Sign Language is, and I feel like that makes more sense. I'm so happy I decided to stick with this challenge and learn a different sign language. That is my goal. I've always wanted to learn another sign language because I love ASL, but I've always wanted more. I'm so fascinated with different sign languages. I feel like going to Korea gave me an excuse to learn Korean Sign Language, and I want to continue learning more about it. I'm excited to go apply what I've practiced because I know it'll be completely different from what I've learned online. It is so important when you are learning sign language to go and practice and sign with the deaf community, because it doesn't matter if you are learning online or you're taking a class, you have to sign with deaf people. Because learning sign language without communicating with deaf people is like swimming with those floaties on. Final thoughts, I love Korean Sign Language. I want to continue to learn more about it, and I hope one day I become fluent in it. Am I fluent in Korean Sign Language in 4 days? No, obviously not. It takes many years to become fluent in a language, and I would never teach Korean Sign Language on here because it is not my place. Anyways, I'll be sharing all the resources and links below. Make sure to follow my Instagram. I feel like y'all don't follow me on Instagram enough. It's liz.harris, but the I is replaced with the 1. I love you guys so much. I have to go to sleep now. I have to wake up about 4. I can't speak. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Love you. Bye.